Shut him down. It's a double kill for Jim.
Oh my God, Jim!
Pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire.
Angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dart goes to 2-piece. Oh my God!
Trató de darle ese respetazo ahí, consigue dominar a Melissa y rápido se voltea y se
destaque na marotagem. Belo ângulo dele. For him, he's gonna be able to take out. Oh my God! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock. Pegou bala na cara do Master. O Almairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas... Square on the body that you hit. He no-scoped Raballo right there. He no-scoped.
Queda solamente vivo por parte de repente, consigue la primera baja en este round. Se da cuenta que no se puede.
All right. We are sorry about the delay, everybody, but we are here and we are getting into our final day of the open season for Mobile Mayhem Girls. I, of course, am Denomine, and I am joined by the ever lovely and beautiful Verdict.
I don't know about all that, but we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. We've got some pretty exciting matchups ahead of us. Unfortunately, we're only going to see about 2 of those series, as one of the teams decided that they did not want to show up for the last day. So, can't believe a team would put in 3 weeks of hard work and then on that last week just bail. I'm not 100% sure what the case was. Nonetheless, won't hold anything to them, but
Well, especially
still,
it being one of the teams I think we were the most
Yeah.
excited for, right? Like Serenity was
Yeah.
a team that came in and was, a team that I considered an underdog at the beginning, but clearly came in and proved that they were anything but. And we're not going to get to see them play up against Zygnus tonight, which is a bit unfortunate. That is going to give Zygnus the bye. And with our, I don't think those are quite updated. Yeah, I think Zygnus would be up to 60 with the forfeit. But yeah, Serenity was one of those teams where we were mentioning last week, if they come into this Zygnus Girls versus themselves matchup and they win the 2-0 victory, they had a chance to still make it to the finals day, and instead they have opted to forfeit. So I do believe we have our best of 3 available. Do you have that?
Yeah, I got you. We're gonna start the night off with some heated action here. BB Angels going to be taking on the newly rebranded Xplicit Girls. This is the SGE Azami roster, and it is now the Xplicit roster. So standoff hard points where we're going to start the action off. Raid S&D, and if we do see that game 3, it's going to be a firing range. So important vetoes here. Bans for BB Angels, Crossfire Map, and Annihilator Operator. Xplicit opted to ban Hackney, Yard, and Sparrow, and nonetheless, we are already into game number 1. Predictions. With a recent rebrand, maybe Xplicit come through and maybe show us something different than what we normally seen against a Angels roster who just seems to dominate opponents when Aerith's in the lobby. And right now, Aerith's in the lobby. They've got a complete hold in this P1. Maybe I answered my own question there, Day.
Yeah, and as always, guys, that is not to say that Aerith is the only good girl on this team or anything, right? Like, she's just a giant factor, and I'm pretty sure this game is going to be one to prove exactly why. Comes through, filling up the feed right there on a 5 combo. Not 100% convinced on the Hunter Killer drone there. Maybe just assumed someone was coming, had to reload, but chucks it into the wall. Finds kill number 6. On to Amy, who I don't recognize from the SGE roster here, or well, I guess Xplicit roster now. Veda gonna come through, picks up 1 on that backside of gas station, trying to anchor over for P2, and as you guys can see, that has clearly been the Xplicit win on the respawns there. They're now set up solid for P2 Verdict, and they've got a big disadvantage to come back through right now.
Yeah, they do, and gonna have a hard time doing it when Chelsea's just wrecking players left and right. Inside the objective, Amy actually gonna be on the top side of the stairs, Chelsea on a 5 combo, and I think it's just little undoable here for Xplicit. The retake comes through real early, and the score streaks are gonna come raining in now. 43-7, it's just gonna continue to get worse. The girls over at BB Angels, they came in with a very strict game plan, and right now they are just absolutely slaying out. Chelsea gets another one with the Hunter Killer drone there, but finally gets taken out. Jules going to come through on the break, but how long can they contest?
Kind of confused on Amy's Type 25 build. We might have to look into that. I think she's got a short barrel without a monolithic on, which is not at all what I am used to seeing. Also, everybody, I wanted to switch the spectator there, but I got the Predator missile bug, and there's nothing I could do. But another good rotation early on from the side of Xplicit Girls. Have to see if they're able to do anything with it. We do have Lydia rotating over. Gonna be Amy.
I'm going to tell you, I'm taking a look at the loadouts here. The only ones with monolithics are Dog Swine and Jules. Amy and Veda kind of rocking similar loadouts with the exception of, is that the grip? No, that's not the grip. That's the underbarrel. So not 100% sure what the move there is, and if that's really a factor right now, because, I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of guns you hand these girls. BB Angels are just literally laying down the hammer, and they're going to get the break there early on that P3 transition, Big Blue. So about a 30-point advantage in counting, and this is just an absolute slaughterfest so far.
Not a lot of time on the board, but I did hop open the attachments for you guys so everybody at home could, just kind of see what these players are running. And I just overall think the Type 25 builds that we're running on the side of the BB Angels are just better right now. And that's not to say that's the reason they're winning the gunfights, right? Like that is not at all the case.
It plays a little bit of a factor, right?
It definitely. Yeah, it definitely plays a little bit of a factor. I think specifically at those longer ranges, just because the monolithic is such a strong attachment overall. But we will have to see. Beta comes through, sliding in, gonna pick up a solid kill there.
This is tough. Let's go ahead and jump in with the girls over at BB Angels because I have a feeling this is gonna come to an end here shortly. Let's do a quick listen in.
Sounds like a plan.
Cluster, one boxes.
There's still A side. One person rotating, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you got cluster for new.
Going boxes now.
I got two boxes. I got two boxes. I got a sentry too.
I start for new.
I got trade, don't worry.
One behind us, Granny.
One person knew already, guys.
Top factory,
One person in satchel, I think, as well. I spawned A side.
Top factory low.
Dead.
One person top granny.
Yeah, they're coming from gas.
I killed someone inside. Inside dead. Yeah. Granny.
Cluster, you can cluster this.
Yeah.
Borong grannies.
Bottom granny dead.
I can't get him.
They're forced to come through Delhi, yeah.
3 kali eh? 3.
She just well played easy, bro.
Good shit,
Let's
bro.
go.
Clean as fuck.
All right, well, as you could hear, definitely a lot of excitement coming out of Aerith. There's some really solid comms there coming out of the team as well, and that is a bit of what we expect when she is there. As we mentioned before, in weeks that we did see them struggle was when Aerith wasn't there, and she is typically the IGL for the team, one of the ones who's going to make those most important call-outs when the team needs it, and sure enough, they came through and looked solid here today. I mean, a 150-31 lead that is not a close game. That is a landslide victory.
No, that is, and as a matter of fact, I know we were going to continue to talk about it because, is it so much of an Aerith factor? Is it so much of a team factor? I think it's a combination of the two. Aerith just literally drives this team to want to do better, and you could tell she's literally the epitome of a Slayer and an OBJ player. Look at those stats: 20-6, 59 seconds on the hill. You heard the end of the game comms. Just hyping that team up. And if she's not doing anything, she's always doing that. She's always pushing that team in the right direction. It is so crucial to have a player like that who can also back it up with not just talk, it's stats to go along with it. One of the most well-rounded players in this Mobile Mayhem Girls League. And, it always helps when Nagabu's on one as well, 22-9. I mean, you just look at the list and these girls literally slaying out. I mean, Chelsea was so dominant in that P2 rotation. This is just a very, very what's the word? Not so balanced matchup. I was hoping Xplicit would come in and bring some smoke to, kind of hype up the rebrand, but they caught the bitter end.
That is a tall ask.
Yeah, I mean, any dog can have their day. And in this matchup, it was just so routine for the girls over at BB Angels. It just without a shadow of a doubt, they got outplayed, they got out transitioned, they got outgunned. We were making mentions of the gun attachments. It showed heavily how much better that BB Angels roster team is. And you take Aerith out of the mix, you take her out of the voice chat or the VC rather, whatever you want to call it. I'm thinking that this team could put up some kind of results like that, but I just don't see that kind of effort when she's not in the mix. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. And this is exactly why I like the comment you made when we first got out of this game, and that when she's here, she inspires the team to get better. And you can definitely see that reflected in the likes specifically of Chelsea and Nicole. Nicole coming through with that 22-9, as you mentioned. Chelsea coming through with the 18-7. So putting up solid numbers across the board. Vappy, not slaying out, but we do know her to be typically more of an objective player, and sure enough, you can see that coming through with the 52 seconds on the board. Didn't go very negative either. I mean, 10 and 14 is not bad for someone who is typically getting left alone on a last hard point while the rest of the team is rotating over. You're going to be taking a lot of weird gunfights where, you know, you may be in a room with 3 entrances and, you know, you're just holding down time while you can. And we don't see any of the girls put up these numbers. Again, I think it's a lot of that motivation, a lot of that direction that really bring them together. And you know, the reason why I said, you know, Aerith's a great player, but that doesn't mean the rest of the players are bad on the team. I mean, she's right up.
Right.
You know, she didn't top frag. She may have had the highest KD, but she did not top frag. And you know, that is, you know, definitely I think something to at least temporarily make note of.
No, you're absolutely right. And I guess I can go back on my statement a few days ago when we were talking about is this team need Aerith in the mix? And I was making so many, you know, comments. And I'm not saying they're crippled without her, but it's so hard to perform when you don't have your chief in command, your top dog in the lobby with you, holding you accountable, you know, making sure you're putting the plays in, making sure you're on focus on task. And now we're gonna get geared up for that game number 2. Show to be a potential 2-0 here for the girls over at BB Angels. We're looking at a search to destroy on Raid and Day. I see all the girls are in the lobby. I think they're ready. I think we're good to go into that second matchup. And you know, we've got a team here who is, you know, based off of Serenity exiting stage left. It's safe to say that Xplicit is a shoe-in for a Final Four finish, right?
Yeah, and you know, I think, you know, one of the things you were kind of touching on it there. When this team has Aerith, I think they're definitively the best girls team in COD Mobile. When they don't have Aerith, I think they are like still solidly tied for first with the likes of Celeste and with Zygnus. So
did stream just crash?
It did for a couple seconds, but it should already be back.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's a 1v1 right now, and we've got Anna and Lydia. A lot of trades coming through. Bombs in the hands of Anna. She's going to kind of play a little bit of time. 30 seconds into the match, and there's only one player from each team, so we missed a lot. As I was trying to check and see if chat was back up and running, or stream was back up and running. Sure enough,
that should be.
I think I feel like we missed out on a lot there. I have no idea what happened. I just see a lot of dead bodies and a little bit of carnage and, you know, post-mayhem. 0 kills on board for Lydia. She kind of played back, and Anna's got one for herself, and it looks like she's going to go for this 8-bomb plan. As she goes ahead, clear sight. We've got 50 seconds going to be reduced to about 45 here, as the pressure is on now, and Lydia has to perform in order to get this first round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but Anna is one of the strong players for the side of... There's no way she didn't hear that shot, right? Oh, no, she did. She was going for the head glitch. And Lydia pushes it just the right time and is going to come through with that round win. Number 1 for the side of the BB Angels. And they're off to a pretty fantastic start, if you ask me. Not a convincing round, though. Definitely shows...
Anytime you can get it down to 1v1, it definitely shows that this Xplicit team is... putting up some effort here, you know, in order to see if they can take it to a game 3. Obviously, they're a shoe-in for a 4th place finish at least, or higher. I don't know what the scoreboards are ranking, but you know, anytime you can put a little, you know, kinks in the armor of some of the flawless here, the BB Angels, it's definitely a tough ask. So Anna Amy rather trying to get this bomb plant down. Probably not the best move. 2 players dropping early, and now we got a 3v4 as Veda gets a refrag.
Veda gets a refrag, but Charles is now pushing from the back. Aerith's going to find one up top. Now it's Amy. Left last alive. This is her first time competing in Mobile Mayhem. And yikes, you're up against 4 girls of the BB Angels, and that is not going to be a pretty sight. And sure enough, she does get dropped. And this one could be a quick one. And I really do believe that the side of Xplicit here would be kind of in that trifecta of teams that I just mentioned, where if Aerith's not there, you know, you have 3 teams that could really go any which direction. You could absolutely throw this Xplicit team in there if they get their consistency nailed down. Part of it is definitely that they don't always play with the same roster. I don't know what the details are there. I'm obviously not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form and know the inner workings. But they're always playing with a different roster, and that can't be good for your team synergy. So we'll have to see. You actually have a couple kills getting picked up. It's a 2-0. Beta gonna get the turn onto one there. Aerith pick that last kill up, and what was looking great for Xplicit ends up being another round for the side of the BB Angels.
Yeah, this was I mean, I was watching it unfold as it as it did right there. You saw the push up from Vappy. She gets all the way on the flank, and you've got one up top sniping. That's Amy, and sure enough, Amy and Veda were literally watching that same angle at pull steps, and sure enough, Vappy comes right behind Amy, gets the drop, gets the free kill. Obviously, she didn't, you know, find any other kills other than that, but if you're going to be holding that top modern area, you got to have at least somebody, or if not you, somebody watching that back, back flank push, and sure enough, they didn't have it. Right now, they are kind of secluded to their spawns as, you know, they've dropped 2, haven't gotten a refrag. Vappy is going to pick up 1 there, and this is a story of that inconsistency coming out in full effect. Jules going to find 1 in Vappy, though, which could be huge. Chell's actually going to be about half health before she re-challenges, and still a 4v3. Pressure is on here for the girls over at Xplicit to perform because they've lost 3 rounds in a row and need to turn things around if they want to see that Game 3 scenario.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We do have Dog Swine picking up 1 onto Chels. That's going to bring things to the 2 for 2. But Lydia going to find that kill onto Jules. And once again, the BB Angels have an advantage here.
Targets in sight. Last man standing. Finish it. They have the bomb. Bomb spotted.
Oh, that's just tough. Lydia gets... It was like a little... She was right behind a rock. It literally had maybe a tiny speck of a hit marker right there on the backside. And sure enough, hits that 1-shot kill. It's going to be 4 rounds in a row. And BB Angels just... They're not taking their foot off the pedal, and I don't blame them here. It's 4 rounds in a row, and making it 5 would not be surprising. So a full push towards this A site is going to give maybe a free bomb plant here, as we do see all 5 players all the way up, and not 100% sure if I agree with all 5 players, but hey, you get around here. This is massive. Anna finds 1, Shells drops, but the refrag. Vappy, what were you doing? Kitchen side got a little too spicy. Aerith on the refrags though. Nicole super weak. Trying to get around this hot tub area.
That's a bold ego challenge to take. Oh my goodness. Well, Aerith gonna find that one. Veda is now looking for Nicole. Can she find it? Gonna pick up the 1. Aerith now knows where at least 1 player is. She was able to pick up a Type 25. Gonna find 1. Gets the body shooting going. Gets some teabag going. Gets some more body shooting going, because that's a 5th round clutched up by the side of the BB Angels. We're now gonna switch sides, but verdict. Look, I can only cushion the blow so much for you. I think this one's over.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we only got 1 more potentially. You know, Aerith's already sitting on 9. Won't be surprised if she gets that double-digit marker here in this round to end things out, but obviously anything can happen when you flip. Nicole going to be your bomb carrier, looking to make this B-side push. Got 1 in top laundry that she kind of has an ideas there, and Dog Swine going to be firing off the thumper. Not going to get any hit markers, but ultimately might be, you know, this series of events push it up. Oh, the hit marker feels bad. Dog Swine actually does get the kill, but get some shots on Lydia too, but is going to be taken down. Vappy going to find 2 there, and that's going to be a 3v4 scenario. 1 for 2 trades coming in.
Yeah, we do now have Anna making that rotation largely from behind. We also have Amy up top of Laundry. Hasn't got her first kill on the board yet. Might not get it this round either. Starts taking some shots the second she peeks on out. And sure enough, is going to get dropped by Aerith, who's got 10 on the board. You can't argue with the results. Going to be Anna picking up 1 on to Vappy. Anna picking up 2. Going to swap over to her perspective. Maybe it won't be a 6-0. Aerith going to find 1, but gets taken down. Anna, that's right. Give her some disrespect. The body shooting, the teabagging. I love it. And that's going to be Anna clutching up around for the team of Xplicit. Now 5-1 comeback, still a large ask, but definitely possible.
Yeah, gotta love that energy. Anna finally able to get the better of Aerith there, and the body shooting coming along with it, and now we got a little bit of a shot of hope here. That's a large ask still though. You're still down by 4 rounds. Can't make any mistakes. And with Aerith already in double digits, she's 11-2 by the way. I'm taking a look at the scoreboard. You got Amy first debut for Mobile Mayhem for this roster, going 0-6. This is a tough one to kind of deal with, but we'll see how it pans out now as bomb's gonna get pushed yet again towards that B side. Chelsea is gonna be your bomb carrier. No casualties just yet. We see a little bit of that focus here from Xplicit. Bomb's still going to go down. Doesn't matter. And now we got about 40 seconds for this 5v5 retake.
Targets in sight.
I was about to say Anna gets a free kill here, but Lydia kind of nuts. Definitely see Anna is playing the sounds here, but Lydia trying to make it out alive. Not going to happen. Veda now pushing on up, taking quite a few shots. Going to get dropped by Shells. Amy. What happened, my girl? What on earth? Killed herself with the thumper. That's rough. Anna left alone once again in a 1 versus 1. It's against Chels. Not gonna find it. Chels take her down, and the 6-1 victory does come through for the side of the BB Angels.
Very, very convincing performance on both games. BB Angels with Aerith in the roster, just it's unbeatable at the moment. I don't think there has been a team that stepped up and played as well as the BB Angels. Granted, Cygnus did win a 2-1 series over them, but they struggled even with Aerith out of the lobby. So, you know, put 2 and 2 together, it could kind of tell you what would happen if Aerith was in the lobby for that night. And sure enough, Search and Destroy game is down and packed. 11 kills on board for Aerith. Nobody else besides Chell's even remotely close. And it did manage to pick up 8 though, so okay. Not 100% sure where my girl Amy left off on, but I'm assuming it's Big Fat Goose Egg.
It was a goose egg. Yeah,
that's tough.
Nice flavorful donut, unfortunately. But I mean, again, it's the level of competition you're up against. It's your first day, at least on a competition level, at least, well, I guess, I don't know what for other tournaments, but coming through playing for Xplicit, and again, part of that just really, to me, is more of a question of the consistency that the teams are able to pull together, right? And you know, we know Xplicit as an org. They've brought together some great teams in the past. I think they've got a solid girls team here. Just hoping to see a little bit more consistent roster. Because honestly, like Jules, Veda, Anna, Dogswine, I mean, these girls are nuts. You know, they came through up against a really tough opponent. Everybody was putting kills up on the board. Veda and Dogswine with 4. Jules came through with 5. Anna came through with 8. You look over at the opposition, and Nicole, who top fragged last game, had 3. So definitely a team that has potential. They just need that solid 5th. We've obviously seen them play with a couple different this season. I don't know if maybe one of them was just busy today, or if there's just still trying to find that missing piece of the puzzle or what's going on, but definitely hope to see more of them. I do believe that they are going to be moving on to they'll be playing tomorrow. They have 45 points on the standings, so I will go ahead and actually throw. Briefly talk about that, but BB Angels lead the pack with 85. And with this being the last day of the season, there's nobody else that can touch their score there. The closest anybody can come is Celeste, coming through with 70 if they were able to 2-0 Nyla, which is a real possibility for our second match of the night. Cygnus Girls, again, I don't know if they got points for Serenity forfeiting, but either way, obviously, they're in a Cygnus Girls are in a position where they beat Nyla, so even if Nyla were to come through and 2-0 Celeste here at 40 points, they still maintain that 4th place slot. So definitely a oh nope, looks like they did update that match result there, so that's why Cygnus jumped up to 60 all of a sudden. Thank you to the admin team. But yeah, I think we do have a short break between our next set of games verdict, because obviously with Serenity forfeiting, the other two teams are now moving up a whole match slot. So I think we had a couple players mention that they were going to be a couple minutes late to that. So we are going to take a short break. We do have a couple ads to run from COD Mobile for you guys. Verdict, you got anything before we go on break?
Oh, that's it, man. I'm ready for these next series of matches. So
yeah, our next matchup, guys, will be Nyla versus Celeste, as I mentioned. I think crowd favorite's going to be Celeste, but Nyla, they've got some potential. We'll have to see what they bring to the table. So stick with us, and we'll be right back.
It's a double kill for Jim.
Oh my God, Jim!
Looking pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire.
He had the right angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dark scope, the two-piece! Oh my God! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock.
Jogou bala na cara do Master. O Omairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Da estátua vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Square on the body that you hit. He no-scope for a follow right there. He no-scope.
Termina eliminando a Jack, igual queda solamente positivo por parte de repente, consigue la primera baja en este round, se da cuenta que no se
Alright guys, welcome back. We do still have a couple minutes between games, so we wanted to actually jump into the voice comms with the BB Angels, who obviously, as you guys can see on the standings page, come through with another lead in our second season of Mobile Mayhem Girls. And even if Celeste come through with the 2-0 victory here, they'll still be 15 points short of the Angels. So congratulations, Angels, on a great season. Obviously, you guys are the team to beat going into the playoffs tomorrow. How's everybody doing?
You're doing great.
Wow, I'm doing just great.
Yup,
Pretty happy.
doing pretty good after that game, yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid showing. I mean, you guys obviously didn't have the most difficult team to face, at least in my opinion, just because I was kind of mentioning it during the broadcast that Xplicit tends to have a little bit of a roster inconsistency issue, where that you never know who that fifth player is going to be. And I definitely think that plays in a big factor, because I think those girls are actually really, really talented. So, you know, impressive that you guys came into the hard point and just absolutely mopped the floor as hard as you guys did, honestly.
No, I totally agree. Like, without a consistent roster, you can't really expect to perform consistently, mostly with, like, players changing in and out of teams. It's just too much, you know?
Yeah, I don't feel like it'd help them in the long run if it's always like a constant like swap between players.
Yeah, there's no way you can build chemistry off of
All
like
about chemistry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think before we went live on stream, you guys were mentioning that you girls have been playing for like 4 years or something together.
Well,
Some of us have. Yeah, like I've been playing with Nikki since like 3 years ago. Basically, we've known each other for a long time, and we played with Chelsea basically like
for probably over a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And majority of like the roster is really tight, and we just always play with each other.
Is this? I imagine, just as close as you girls are, this is probably a roster that we're going to see return for a next season as well.
No, most definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think out of like the entire COD Mobile scene, obviously I haven't been here as long as others have, but you know, we're a solid year in at this point. I think you guys have been the most consistent roster across any region, across any event. So I definitely think that that is a strong. I know you were talking about the synergy earlier when we were talking about the Xplicit roster. That's something that you guys don't struggle with as much. I mean, you guys have a solid group of, you know, fifth players that you guys bring in here and there. Obviously, you have.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to turn the music off. Obviously, you guys kind of swap in and out Lydia and Brix to play with you guys as well. How has it been, with the EU girls? I mean,
Honestly, like besides having to schedule our big tournament matches like earlier for the EU time zone, it's not a big issue because like I think they've really just adapted to the MS. Like it's not so bad to the point that it's unplayable, you know?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's like what, around 60, max peak 80. It's obviously definitely like a disadvantage. However, these girls have a lot of comp experience and they've been playing with us for a good amount of time now. So it's really not a big deal. Plus, everyone else that have good MS, we just definitely step up some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they're just also like really talented players, despite
they're
the
really
MS
good.
issues and whatnot. So they really do like pull their weight.
Yeah, they perform well
Yeah.
on 60 MS against NA teams that have like 10, 20.
yeah. I mean, they're definitely proven talent, right? Like I'm actually surprised none of you have competed like I guess except for Aerith on the content creator team when that was the Mobile Mayhem or the Mayhem team. I'm surprised that none of you have really come out and tried to get on teams for like the main Mobile Mayhem series, because obviously that's something that we know Brixta and Lydia for in Europe. Aerith, I know you're on iPad, so that kind of disqualifies you. But
yeah,
I've also heard you've been playing around with the idea of maybe practicing on phone to start competing. Is that something that you're still thinking about doing, or?
Well, I'm definitely gonna make like content on it first because a lot of people do like my like phone videos, just like every now and then. It's definitely easier to make content off of iPad, and honestly, I would probably say like for at least Chelsea and Nikki, like Chelsea, she definitely has the potential to go like pro, but she's on like an iPhone, and like in terms of Wi-Fi, I think a good amount of the players on our team actually have pretty bad Wi-Fi. So that's like a small issue, I guess. And yeah, but
and I'm on iPad.
And, yeah, with Nikki, she's on iPad. Like, but if these girls had like let's say experience, bro, it would be crazy.
Are you all old enough to compete?
I am.
Some of us, like not Chelsea.
No, she is. Isn't it 17 plus now?
No, wait, is it?
I think so. Yeah, actually.
17 plus.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Well, Seminole were invited last season, and they still had 2 players that were 17. So I think it's 17 plus now. I would have to double check with the admins, but maybe that's something to consider.
Well, in terms of like kind of champs, like it's 18 plus, but I think Chelsea can.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah too. Sarah's really good. It's just her Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Everyone got Wi-Fi issues.
Yagabu, right?
Yagabu, yeah.
She's an insane thumbs player, but it's just.
No, she's crazy. She's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I think people like don't realize how good Sarah is just because like majority of the time she's lagging, and sometimes she would just like stand still in the middle of the map. But no, she's really insane.
I actually think I might have called her out for that one week when she played. I was like, this is a 4v5. This girl is straight not at her phone right now.
Her Wi-Fi is just really, really bad.
Gotcha. It does look like we have our other teams ready now, so I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. It was a pleasure to talk to you girls. Congratulations on another season lead, and good luck in your guys' games tomorrow for the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys and girls, welcome back. We've got all of our players here now, and we're going to bounce into the game for you guys as quick as we can. But Verdict, I know you weren't entirely there with us for the chat we had with Angels, but you know they were pretty hyped about coming through in first again. I know you were hanging out with us a little bit at the beginning before we were live. They were saying Celeste is probably the number 2 team in the region, which I think for the most part we would agree with, and I think they made a really good point that Celeste's one place that they struggle is search and destroy. And I think that's the one place maybe Nyla have a chance here.
No, you're absolutely right. I think I think that's a bold statement because every time I've seen the girls over at Celeste play, it's always been like very great search or destroy plays and great starts to hard points, but not that ability to close the gap in you know in the end game. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and jump into our second and final series of the night. We're going to start off with hardpoint range. S&D standoff for game number 2, and then if it does go to distance, we'll have to see. Is it going to be a crossfire dom? As we're already in the action, and 5 uncontested points already been in favor of the girls over at Celeste, and they've added the recent player, and that's Beef Shorty. When did that happen, and how come I didn't hear about it?
I think this is the first day that happened, so...
Hey, well, interesting.
Yeah, we will... Well, at least as far as, like, playing. I think she actually mentioned to me a couple days ago that it happened, but... as you guys can see, I did have the map picks up at the beginning of the game just for a second, since we were, you know, rushing to try to get these girls here and ready to go. Obviously, we're starting off on a raid hardpoint. Our map 2 will be a search and destroy on standoff, and our game 3 will be a crossfire domination. Nyla with a ban on firing range and the Annihilator, and Celeste coming through with the ban on Hackney Yard and the Sparrow. And something tells me if we do make it to a game 3, Nyla might regret not banning Crossfire. But we will see. We do have teams fighting now over the kitchen. And definitely in a good position for Celeste to make this a quick one, as they've already got a 60-point lead going into the first 10 seconds of P2. And they look like they're ready to lock it down here as well.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more of a closer ball game here in this second series, but looks like we might be looking at a potential 2-0 like we saw earlier from the BB Angels. And Celeste doing a great job of getting those streaks in. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at Bianca in particular. She's already got a Goliath, and she has no shame of throwing it down as early as this P2 rotation. So P3 transition is going to come through. It does look like... the girls over at Nyla are just going to cut their losses and set up for new. And sure enough, this Goliath is going to be able to collect those last 10 seconds of scrap time. But, I mean, you can already see it. 2 players spawning out for the girls over at Nyla. Not a great way to start your P4 or P3 transition over to Garage. 111 to 0. Just... ridiculous amount of OBJ time in favor of the girls over at Celeste, and they might be able to close it out here on a early P3 rotation.
And you are absolutely right, and one of the recent additions has been Aeon, who I think is actually filling in for Cammy, who we don't see. And Verdict, I gotta say, this is a slaughter, and we actually had one player for the side of Nyla end up leaving early here. Actually not noticing who it was, but we have Parrish, Fushila.
Storm.
Oh, it was Storm. You're right. You're right.
It was Storm. Yeah. I mean, can you blame her? Look, it's a 150 to 0. Like, we were expecting some close matchups here towards the end of the night, and this is what we got at 4v5 to finish it off at a 150-0 to cap off the hardpoint. So, sheesh. I was not expecting something of this caliber, maybe like 150 to 50, but I don't think I've ever seen a hardpoint game end that quickly on Raid.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely rough when you end a game on P3, but my goodness. Shorty, if you were gonna come into a game and say we're about to nuke, like this would have been the one. Not against Serenity. Those girls are intense, but right now Nyla not looking to be at their strongest. And one of the things I got to point out is I feel like I remember Rita putting up like 30 kills on takeoff hardpoint last week. So definitely found a struggle here. Only bringing up 4. Fushila came through with 5. V with 7. Parrish with 5. I can't imagine Storm had very many before she backed out, but I'm going to be honest, everything happened so fast, I didn't even have a chance to look. For the opposition on the side of Celeste, it's Queen coming through with 9, Aeon coming through with 13, Kira MVP with 10 on the board, Shorty with 12, and Bianca coming through with 12 as well. So dominating performance in this 150-0 game here. And man, Nyla, they gotta find something for they gotta find something
Yeah.
for the search and destroy, because it's looking to be a short night right now.
Yeah, unless someone unplugged Storm's router, which I highly doubt. It appears as though she's left both the game and the VC, so I don't know if they're even gonna have a 5th out of her for this next game. So very, very demoralizing. A 150-0. It's obviously not the result that your team wanted, but a very, very just dominant performance for Celeste, and Shorty coming through and just fitting in like an absolute glove. 12-1 for Bianca. A minute and 6. She's a player who earned that Sentry Gun and the Goliath literally within that first 10 seconds of P2. So if she got it down, was able to secure that one off. I'm not even sure there's much more analyzing we need to say. It is just a ridiculous amount of OBJ presence, as well as some superior gun skill on the flip side of things for Celeste. And I gotta say, I'm kind of digging this Aeon player. They came in, started things off right, certainly putting that Celeste team up in that top contender spot. Now, tell me this: is Celeste gonna be able to finish out above Cygnus Girls or tie? Because I know they have that head-to-head series, right?
They should finish above. Let me actually see if I can pull up the standings once again. I know they were up on screen for a little bit earlier, but they should absolutely be able to. Cygnus are only 10 points above Celeste, so assuming that they come through with the 2-0 victory here, which, my God, dude, after that performance, I would fully expect. Celeste can bounce themselves up to 70, which would put them right up between the BB Angels and Cygnus Girls. And again, Celeste are obviously locked in. It doesn't matter even if Nyla were able to come back and win the search and destroy, and then, God forbid, win the domination. Nyla are out, and Celeste have their spot. So that's neither here nor there. Our top 4 are locked in. Obviously, there's only going to be 4 moving on instead of 6, which you guys may be used to from the Mobile Mayhem's regular seasons. And I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. That's just because we designed this to be a shorter season for the girls just because of the holiday coming up. That's just the way it worked. We got 6 of the best teams for the girls here, and everybody has come through and at least won some games. We can't say that for the main Mobile Mayhem series. There's definitely been some seasons where there have been some pretty rough performances. So hopefully Nyla will turn around and make this search and destroy a bit more exciting. I'm actually gonna go ahead and throw the best of 3 page up again real quick, just because we were so short on it at the. You want to run through those again for us, Verdict?
Oh, absolutely. I got you right here. We started things off with that hardpoint raid, which we saw 150-0 finish in favor of the girls over at Celeste. Standoff Search or Destroy is going to be our game 2 decider. If we'll see that game 3, it's going to be a Dom Crossfire. And, if anybody else is, in the same shoes as I am right now, which I don't have any shoes on, so probably a poor analysis, but kind of tell me, playoffs wise, what are we looking at there? Is that a bracket, or is it like teams 4 and 3 square off for a 3rd place spot, and then teams 1 and 2 fight off for a 1st place spot? How does that work?
A good question. I would imagine it's still going to be a bracket where we'll have a winner and a losers bracket, but that may also depend. Yeah. Knows? Well, maybe B knows. She does the schedule. Of course she knows. Ooh, it does look like we're going to have a 4v5 for the side of Nyla. So yeah, I'm thinking Celeste definitely going to be coming through with the 2-0 victory here. That's pretty unfortunate. I don't know. This was kind of the area where we've seen Celeste be their weakest, and now that's obviously not the most accurate phrase if you take it word for word, because they kind of remind me of like a tribe in Search and Destroy, where it's, you know, sometimes they look like the best team in the game, and then other times you're like, wow, what happened? But does look like our players are ready to go, and we're gonna roll on into our next game at Verdict. I mean, aside from
Yeah,
the
here we
obvious,
are.
do you have any predictions?
The obvious is you know, it was a 150-0 hardpoint game. I don't know if there's any other way to you know, break this one down. If one of your players disconnects and just completely leaves you guys hanging, obviously there are multiple issues that that you know that you can't really account for. And right now, what they can't account for is a 5v4. V actually gonna find first blood, but Bianca, good night. 2 kills on board, gets the thumper shot, and actually gets the sniper shot on 1. And now Fushila's gonna be left in a 1v4. So I know she's nasty with the DOQ in hand, but is she nasty enough to take on this 4-player push that's bound to happen?
Well,
Okay,
she
1 down.
surely hears the dinosaurs rotating behind her, but can't quite make it around the corner, and that's going to be her getting picked off there, and the first round going over to the side of Celeste. Man, I never realized how loud the footsteps are going through that mid building. I mean, that is like hard pounding on wood.
All right, here we go. 1 round in, 1 round good so far, and it is just looking like a bloodbath right now. Beef Shorty finding a 2-piece there. No worries. Doesn't care, pushes up aggressively. Does find Parrish, but Parrish getting the better end of that trade. And now Parrish is in an all too familiar position for this Nyla team, and that's a 1v4 scenario. 2 rounds in a row. Can't ask for a better round there for the girls over at Celeste.
Yeah, this one is looking like it might be a quick 6-0. We'll have to see. Right now, we're going to go ahead and spectate Shorty as she came through and popped off with 2 right out the gate here a minute ago. Look like she might be taking a little bit different of a rotation. Last time she did go through backside of gas station, but nobody going to be home this time.
You know, I was taking a look at the statistics for games and whatnot for this Celeste team, and we were talking about Search and Destroy being one of their weak spots. Well, they have only lost 1 Search and Destroy this season, and that has been against the BB Angels. So, bold claim. You know, they've not won or lost a series since then. And
to be fair, they should have lost the series that they had against Zygnus. Well, they did lose the series, but they should have lost the Search and Destroy.
No, but they didn't though. That's the difference.
But they didn't. You're not wrong, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't recall the game. I recall the hard point because at one point it was 108-54, and they lost that lead, and that was their biggest I mean, loss of the season. You know, compared to BB Angels, obviously that's a whole other beast. But I don't recall the Search and Destroy, but you know, based off the stats, they won. So.
Shorty looking for one on a Parrish right now. Isn't going to find it. Finally does. I don't know how Beef Shorty lived as long as she did, but Rita get taken down right away. And I got to say, at least Nyla picked up a round, right? They were able to pick up that round 3. And, I mean, Celeste quickly answered back with round 4 and cleaning that one up. But, my God, after the 150-0, you come through in a 4 versus 5, and you're able to at least find 1 round in Search. That's at least a little bit saving, right?
Well, V gonna find first blood. V has been like the carry so far. She's got 6 on board. She's 6-3. Doing a decent job of evening the scorecard here now as we've got a 4v4 in hand. V actually pushing out Kira. Probably not the player you want to contest. And then you also got Bianca up top, who's been a just devastating sniper on board. Beef Shorty finds first blood for her team. Rita drops. Kira does get taken down, so V actually able to win that gunfight, but Fushila super weak. We're gonna see the contest. Oh, the repeat. Bianca gets dropped, and now we've got a 3v2. Player advantage in favor of the girls over at Nyla. And Shorty says, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, I switched over.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That's
Oh
tough.
man. I switched to both of those players right as Shorty dropped them. Like that's a little bit rough, but Shorty coming through with 2 key picks for the team as things were starting to look good once again for Nyla. And it's now the 4-1 lead, as you guys can see. Aeon reconnecting there. Thumpers coming out. I don't think anybody really found any hit markers or anything for themselves, but going to go ahead and switch on over to V, who is now concussed and is getting pushed. And yep, Kira going to find that one.
Now it's all of Fushila 1v5. You're going into match point if you don't get this one, and you know it's gonna have to come at the expense of an ace or a bomb defuse somehow. But does find 1 kill. Anna right inside of this top blue area. Queen gonna get the bottom side pushed up. Oh, MW11 on point, love it. But that's Kira. Peeks that deli sight, gets the kill. Found 2, which is very interesting, especially considering it was with that MW11 that Day absolutely loves to see and play. Enjoyed it while it lasted, but now we're match point. Final night of the season. Potentially the last round of this Search and Destroy.
Yeah, it definitely could be, and we'll have to see here. Fushila was looking for the headshot over the fence there, but couldn't quite find it. Now Shorty pushing on up. He's going to miss that shot, but we do have Aeon HSO in hand up top of blue, making the rotation from behind.
Oh, rotates right in front of a player. Okay, how is she not dead, Rita?
Oh my god,
Finally
Kira
gets her.
3 in the feed. My goodness, now it's Rita. Left last alive, does have a DLQ in hand, but with only 2 kills on the board, I'm not the most confident in the 1v4 clutch. We'll obviously have to see, and see we shall, as it's Shorty comes through with the final kill and picks up the 6-1 victory for the girls over at Celeste. And my goodness, what a dominant day here for Mobile Mayhem Girls. Coming through with the BB Angels solid win over Xplicit in game 1. And we jump into game 2 and dang man, a whole another level of domination. The 150-0 hardpoint followed up with a 6-1 search and destroy. I say not a ton of shock there, but
not a ton of shock. I was more shocked at the 1 round that went in favor of Nyla. I gotta give it to him. They handled one round of business, but it was anything but close after that. So Beef Shorty 8 kills on board. She top frags for the lobby, but Kira just has been so dang dominant with a sniper in her hand on S&D. I gotta say, if we're taking a look at the bracket style, it's 1st versus 4th, and Celeste is 2nd, so they're going to be squaring off against Zygnus, which gives me hope for the Celeste roster to move forward. And BB Angels obviously probably a shoe-in for a final scenario, but nonetheless we'll let due diligence handle that. So man, that was a quick night, dude. On a night that I was expecting a lot of action, we got what, 2-0s 2 times in a row. How convenient.
yeah, I mean, definitely a short night. So we'll be back tomorrow for the finals, and we're gonna hop in with Celeste, but it looks like they may have already bounced. So that's going to be it for tonight's stream, guys. Be on the lookout again. Tomorrow we are going to have the finals. I think those will be back on my channel. As well as, I think we're going to try to have a special event coming up on the Amplified channel here soon. So make sure you guys are following Amplified on Twitter. Make sure you guys are following Mobile Mayhem on Twitter. You guys are following myself and Verdict as well. a huge shout out to all the teams that did show up today and play. Guys, for coming by and watching. You viewers are what makes everything possible. Huge shout out to.
I think finals will actually be on the Amplified channel.
Are they?
Yeah, I just read in Discord they are going to be on the Amplified channel.
Oh. All right. Well, then they will be here tomorrow.
There we go. That's best of fives all the way across.
Yes, and we do have an update that's going to be first versus fourth in a in the semifinals. Second versus third, and then the losers of those matches will play for the third place match, and the winners will obviously play for first and second, and there will not be any loser redemption bracket. So it is going to be single elimination, which makes sense for 4 teams.
So is it only first 2 teams getting money?
I don't know.
These are the questions.
That is a good question. B, you got an answer to that question?
Let me take a look. Let me see if I could see
First
it here.
Through third.
First through third. So third place is obviously gonna have to play a third place match then. So it'll be 4 best of 5s then. C or no?
C, that sounds right.
There we go. Yeah, that's 4 best of 5s. So tomorrow night, if you're expecting it to be an hour and a half long, you're wrong. Okay.
Yes,
you're
you are.
just wrong.
You are definitely
That's it.
wrong. Tomorrow
you're
will be
absolutely wrong.
And the other thing is the tomorrow's games will be all teams that take it seriously as well. So you know BB Angels are going to show up. You know Celeste and Zygnus are going to show up. And obviously you guys know that Xplicit will show up as well. So should be a fun one. Like I said, that'll be tomorrow on the Amplified channel as well. And yeah, like I said, make sure you're following Amplified and Mobile Mayhem on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next time. We do have a couple ads to play for you from the side of COD Mobile on the way out, and then we'll get a raid going for you guys. I think we hosted Angelita last time, right?
Wasn't she great though?
We'll figure out someone to host, but I definitely want to find some female COD Mobile talent to host at the end of Girls. So thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next time.